Hey, it's Dawn and Janine again, and today's tip is around the idea of feeling like you have to do it all. Janine, I'm a mom, you're a mom, we have partners, we have extended family, we run businesses, we have all the other stuff in life. Do you ever feel like you have to do all of it?
Yeah. Yes. And the interesting thing is, I've put that belief on myself 100%. And I've put that expectation on myself 100%. And sometimes it can be very easy to say, like, well, they're expecting this of me. But really, I feel like, I had this conversation with my husband the other night. I find this so funny that we're talking about it. But he's not expecting this of me. I just see or think that he is, and it's reflecting back to me because of my feelings of needing to do it all and needing to be needed and needing to have things done right and the perfect way. And when I began looking in that and letting things go, it was not easy. Does this sound very similar to your path? Because I know moms women, but then moms even further really feel that need to take care and look after everything.
Yeah, and I think it's part of a societal expectation, right? That's been here for generations. It's not an easy thing to break, even as things are starting to shift. We're still a long way. And for sure, yes, we put it on ourselves, but others put it on us. I definitely have had moments where I've been questioned, right, by women who are at home that are a different generation than me, wondering why am I doing all of this? And is that fair to my family? Right. And feeling like, well, I have to justify. So therefore I have to do it all well. Because if I don't do all of it, then I'm just giving them more, to throw at me. So for sure, it's definitely something that's out and around and it can put a lot of pressure and just dysfunction even in your home.
And it's really interesting because, I mean, looking at your family, I've watched your family, I've gotten to know them for quite a while now. And it's incredible to see because you are balancing your business and your family. And I actually feel like you're more connected, you're more interactive. And each member of the family actually feels like each member of the family is so important. It's not you are the most important member of the family. You've given that sense of importance and belonging to each of the members. And it's been so amazing to see.
It's interesting, like, I see the same thing with you, and your children are much younger than mine, but even with women who, don't have kids or, their kids are now out of the nest, it doesn't change the fact that there are demands on us, right?
Mhm.
From friends and again, family, from other obligations, maybe things you're volunteering in, things that you just enjoy doing and want to have time for. Like we are, there is never an end to our business. And I think one thing we've talked about recently was, and I think you mentioned the word, we're on 24/7. And I think that's different than anyone else in the household.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we really feel like it's a real, I don't know, it's almost like we feel there's a sense of us setting the tone for the entire household and the entire family. Like I notice if I'm having an off day, I can see that reflected in the family. Like it does have an impact. But in practicing, I've been starting to let some things go, like and ask and knowing when I need to ask for help. And one of the things is childcare. And now I'm up to 2.5 days a week. That was my way of letting go and asking for help and having time that I could just focus on work and not be double timing it all the time. And I will say, asking, even though I was like at 2 days and I'm like, I feel like I need to ask for another half a day, it didn't get easier because there was still those same feelings that came up of like, am I giving up time? Is this not fair to my kids? Is this not fair to myself? Am I being selfish? All of those feelings. But I'll say I have a happier household because of it. And I have and the kids are not without.
Right.
And like I am not without. There's that feeling of by stepping back and doing less and giving up, you're actually gaining more. You're not losing. And I think we get stuck in that feeling of the lack rather than the abundance that's coming with it.
Right. Right. I think on like further along in the journey with kids, it's one thing that I've really It's one of the things where I can look back now and say, I did it well. Like, I'm proud of how I decided to do it, even though in the beginning, like you too, it was so hard to let go. And when I started, really full time into an entrepreneur lifestyle and, working out of the home and really, really building my business to multi six figures, it took a lot of time. Like it took nights and weekends and there was those feelings of like, am I taking time from them? Are they going to be upset with me? Will they throw this back at me later when they're older? And so on the other end, when I started, the kids were, let's say the oldest was 11, so 11, 9, and 3, and now they're almost 20, almost 18, and almost 12. And at this point, I get to see them starting to make career choices and being very entrepreneurial and saying like, when are you available today? Is there a time where like I can actually have your attention? Like, so they get like, this is office hours. I need to book time with mom. This is just how it works in our home. But then they know they really get me, right? So we've certainly had years to work through it, but it's worked really well, and I'm excited that the example I set is now going to start coming through in them. So I think, setting yourself up well and asking for that help so that you do feel like you are comfortable doing the balance is, amazing to watch on the other end as it's coming through.
Now, there like, I mean, childcare, it's such a simple example to bring up, but is there other areas that you've been like, okay, I get to let go of control here? Is there any other ways that you've done that in your life?
Yeah, so at different stages throughout the journey, it depended what I needed help with, just like you, right? So I remember the beginning, it was choosing a housekeeper to come in once a week to clean everything so that we didn't spend a day cleaning as a family. We could go and have fun and do something else, and that I didn't have to give up more time out of my week to not do things with them. That was probably one of our first things. I also remember that we decided to have food ordered in partially prepped rather than doing everything from scratch because my husband was coming home from work, he's tired, I'm stepping out of the office, and we just want it to be on the table as quick as possible, but still be, homemade. And so there's just little things where it's like, this is not expensive. Like these are very small things to put in place that give us so much value back and able to balance our life and our work. And so it was just deciding what was needed at that time.
I really like that you put the word value to it because it's not about the actual cash number. It's what is going to enhance your life. And I think it always ends up working out. If it's for the better for you, it's the better for your family, your business. And so I think if we look at the value, because often we're not looking at the value of our time, of our mental well being, we're only looking at the value of the dollars and cents. And I think that gets to really transition. And I've noticed it transitioning. And I think that's so important. And so I want to take the conversation to you guys in the Facebook group. Where do you need support? Or where do you have support? Because whether it's where you have support, we'd love to hear ideas and look for creative ways on where we can make the most of our time and value ourselves. Or it gives you the opportunity to look at yourself and, oh, you know what? I can get the support here. I don't have to do it all. There are resources. I am not on my own because we know you can do it all. You just don't need to.